Hello there, bright hearts. Tonight, we'll snuggle into 3 cozy bedtime adventures, all about a very special treasure we carry in our hearts: honesty. Sometimes telling the truth can feel a little scary, but every time we're honest, we grow braver, kinder, and brighter inside. So find your softest pillow, get comfy, and let's begin our first story. This is Millie and the Moonlight Mix-Up. In a quiet grove tucked beneath a silver moon lived a clever little mouse named Millie. Millie loved collecting shiny things: buttons, beads, bottle caps, and glittery gum wrappers, all neatly tucked into her tiny treehouse nest. But Millie's favorite thing of all was moonberry marmalade. It was sweet, purple, and only made once a month by the wise old raccoon, Mr. Ribble, during the full moon. Everyone in the forest lined up to get a scoop. Millie adored it so much, she once licked the jar clean. One moonlit evening, Millie woke up with her whiskers twitching. She peeked out her window and saw the moon rising, big and round. "Marmalade night," she squeaked, bouncing in her fuzzy slippers. She scrambled to the cupboard for her marmalade jar, but gasped, "Empty." "Oh, cheddar crumbs," she mumbled. "I forgot to clean it out for refill." Millie zipped out of her nest and scurried to the forest kitchen, where Mr. Ribble was humming and stirring a giant bubbling pot. She joined the line behind a sleepy badger and a yawning owl. Her tiny paws tapped nervously. What if she missed her chance? And then she saw an extra jar sitting all alone on the edge of the table. It was small, unlabeled, and full. Millie's eyes sparkled. Maybe it's extra, just sitting there, not claimed. She looked around. Nobody seemed to notice. So, very quietly, Millie tiptoed over and slipped the jar into her basket. Back in her treehouse, Millie snuggled up with her toast and the mysterious marmalade. It was delicious, tart and tangy with just the right sparkle. But as she licked the last bit from the spoon, she felt odd. Not sick, not scared, just squiggly, right in her tummy. What if that jar wasn't extra? She whispered to her tea kettle. The squiggly feeling got squigglier. Millie tiptoed to her window and looked out at the moon. It seemed less shiny now. The next morning, a tiny knock came at her treehouse door. It was a bluebird with a note in its beak. Millie unfolded it. "Dear forest friends, someone accidentally took Mrs. Nettle's allergy-safe marmalade jar. She's had a sneezing fit all night and couldn't sleep. If you find it, please return it. No scolding, just kindness. Mr. Ribble." Millie's whiskers drooped. Her cheeks turned pink. Her squiggly feeling turned into a full-on wibble-wobble. "I have to tell the truth," she whispered. But oh, was it hard. She didn't want Mr. Ribble to be disappointed, or Mrs. Nettle to sneeze even more, or anyone to know she'd taken something that wasn't hers. But she knew what was right. So she packed up her basket with an apology note, a half jar of honeycomb candies, and the cleaned marmalade jar. At the forest kitchen, she found Mr. Ribble washing spoons. Excuse me," Millie squeaked. "I think I took the wrong jar last night." She handed him the note. Her paws were shaking. Mr. Ribble read it and smiled gently. "Well now," he said, "that took courage, little one." Millie blinked. "I thought you'd be mad." "Oh no," chuckled Mr. Ribble. "Honesty has a way of clearing the clouds. Thank you for telling me." Mrs. Nettle popped her head in with a fresh handkerchief. "Thanks to your note, I was able to make a new batch. No hard feelings, dear." Millie felt her tummy settle. The squiggly feeling? Gone. And she turned to leave. Mr. Ribble handed her a small jar. "This one's just for you," he said. "Label says thank you." And that night, Millie sat by her candlelight, spreading honesty-flavored marmalade on a warm piece of toast. It tasted even sweeter than before, because the truth, no matter how wobbly at first, can bring peace, and sometimes even extra marmalade. What a brave little mouse. Honesty isn't always easy, but it always helps our hearts feel lighter and stronger. Now, let's uncover our next tale in The Case of the Missing Sprinkle Socks. In a quiet corner of Marshmallow Meadow, in a little round burrow beneath a gumdrop tree, lived a bunny named Bravo. Bravo was known for two things. One, solving neighborhood mysteries with his magnifying carrot. And two, his absolutely legendary sprinkle socks. Sprinkle socks were soft, stretchy, and covered in bright sprinkles that never came off, not even in the laundry. They were Bravo's lucky socks. He wore them for every mystery. But one chilly Tuesday morning, when Bravo went to his sock drawer, he gasped, "My sprinkle socks! They're gone!" He flipped through fuzzy stripes and polka dots. Nothing. This could only mean one thing. A mystery. Bravo grabbed his magnifying carrot, his detective cape, and his clipboard. Time to solve the case of the missing sprinkle socks. First, he questioned the usual suspects. Tilly the turtle, who liked to borrow clothes for dress-up. "I've got glitter hats," she said, "but no socks." Next was Gary the goat, who once chewed an entire shoelace collection. "I'm trying to snack on less fashion," he promised. And last, Penny the puffin, who always wanted to try flying in socks. "I've got fish slippers today," she said, flapping her wings. Clue after clue led nowhere, until Bravo noticed something strange. A sprinkle right outside his sister Bree's room. He tiptoed closer. Another sprinkle, and another, leading to her closet. Bravo gently opened the door, and there, on a tiny stuffed unicorn, were the sprinkle socks, being worn like sleeves. Bree turned slowly. "Hi, Bravo." Bravo blinked. "You borrowed my lucky socks?" Bree's ears drooped. "I was cold. I didn't ask because I thought you'd say no. And then I forgot." Bravo felt his detective nose wrinkle. He wanted to stomp. He wanted to shout. But then he looked at Bree's face. She looked just like he had the time he accidentally broke Mama's flower vase and told the broom did it. Bravo took a breath. "Bree, it's okay to make a mistake, but it's important to tell the truth, even when it's hard." Bree sniffled. "I'm really sorry." He looked at her, wrapped in sprinkle socks and unicorn fuzz. And then he smiled. Case closed. That night, Bravo wrote in his mystery journal, "Mystery solved. Socks returned. Bree was honest, in the end. And that's what matters." Before bed, Bree tiptoed in and left something on Bravo's pillow. A tiny, sock-sized envelope. Inside was a drawing of them both, wearing sprinkle socks and hugging. And a note. "Thanks for forgiving me. Next time, I'll ask." It turns out, even detective bunnies need honesty to crack a case sometimes. Now, we'll take a journey deep into the dreamy ocean with Sasha Seahorse and the Honest Treasure Map. Deep beneath the sea, where starfish nap and coral gardens sway, lived a curious little seahorse named Sasha. Sasha wasn't the fastest swimmer or the flashiest fish, but she had something even more special: a big, brave heart. She loved solving riddles, exploring sunken caves, and swimming through seaweed mazes with her best friend, Finn the flounder. But one sleepy afternoon, something truly extraordinary happened. Sasha was gliding past the old turtle shell ruins when she spotted something wedged between two clamshells. A scroll, a real one, tied with golden kelp string. Her fins fluttered with excitement. She gently unrolled it. "It's a treasure map!" The faded lines showed the path to something called the Chest of Coral Light. And right there at the top was scribbled, "For the one who is brave and true." Sasha gasped. Coralite was a mythical treasure that was said to sparkle brighter than the moonlit tide. But as she looked closer, she noticed something odd. A small corner of the map had a name scratched faintly into it. "Property of Captain Waverly. Return if found." Sasha's tail curled. It wasn't just any map. It belonged to someone. But it had floated to her. Maybe it was a sign. Finn swam up beside her, munching a kelp snack. "Ooh, a treasure map. Let's go find it." Sasha hesitated. "But it says it belongs to Captain Waverly." Finn rolled over in a swirl of bubbles. "Waverly? That cranky old whale who guards the wreck reef?" Sasha nodded slowly. "He might be grumpy," she said, "but the map is his." Finn scrunched his fins. "He probably doesn't even want it anymore. Come on, think of all the shiny things." Sasha twirled the scroll in her fins. Treasure or truth? After a long, quiet moment, she made her choice. "I'm returning it." Finn flopped dramatically. "Ugh, you're too honest for your own good." Sasha smiled. "That's not a bad thing to be." So off they went, past the jellyfish gardens, through the sleepy eel caverns, and up to the reef of the old wrecked ships, where old Captain Waverly dozed beneath the hull of a broken galleon. Sasha cleared her throat. Excuse me, Captain Waverly, sir?" The giant gray whale opened one eye, then the other. "Well now," he rumbled. "What's all this then?" "I found this map," she said, holding it up. "It has your name on it." The captain took it gently in his fin. He stared at it for a long, quiet moment. Then he smiled. Not a grumpy smile, a real one. "Well, tickle my tail," he said softly. I lost this years ago. Thought it was gone forever. He looked at Sasha kindly. Most would have taken it for themselves, but you brought it back. That takes more heart than any gold could buy. Sasha's cheeks turned coral pink. I just thought it was the right thing to do. Captain Waverly nodded. And for that, I think you deserve something special. He turned the scroll over and unrolled a secret flap. There, written in shimmering ink, was a second message. The treasure is not gold, nor gems, nor shine, but something earned by hearts that are kind. The one who returns this map, fair and bright, unlocks the true coralite. Captain Waverly tapped the wreck's wheel. A hidden compartment opened, glowing softly. Inside was a single luminous pearl swirling with color. Sasha blinked. It's beautiful. It glows with truth, said the captain, and now it belongs to you. That night, Sasha and Finn floated near the kelp canopy, watching the pearl light up the reef like a tiny moon. Finn smiled sheepishly. I guess honesty really was the treasure. Sasha giggled. Told ya. And as the waves rocked them gently to sleep, the coral light glowed a little brighter, because one small seahorse made one very honest choice. Our hearts grow lighter each time we tell the truth, just like Sasha showed us. Now, let's follow the sounds of a bicycle bell through the busy city streets, where another young friend is learning that honesty can take real courage. This is Riley and the Bicycle Bell. In a cozy apartment, tucked above a bakery that always smelled like cinnamon, lived a young raccoon named Riley. Riley loved three things more than anything: zooming through the city on his shiny red bicycle, collecting bottle caps from around the neighborhood, and visiting Grandma Dot, who lived just a few blocks away. One bright Saturday morning, Riley rode to the park with his best friend, Theo the turtle. They raced through puddles, weaved between benches, and practiced tricks. Riley showed off his newest treasure, a shiny silver bicycle bell that went ding just right. But something strange happened that day. While riding past the corner store, Riley noticed the same silver bell, exactly the same, sitting in a dusty display. A chill zipped down his whiskers. He hadn't bought his bell. He'd found it, behind this store, in a box near the trash. I thought it was being thrown away, Riley mumbled. Are you sure? Asked Theo gently. Maybe it just fell out of someone's bag. That night, Riley tossed and turned in bed. Every time the wind blew outside, it sounded like the bell going ding. And every time it dinged, Riley's tummy felt heavier and twistier. He tried to ignore it. He even hid the bell in a drawer, but that didn't help. At breakfast, Riley looked down at his pancakes and whispered to his parents, I think I made a mistake. He told them everything. They didn't yell. They didn't scold. They listened. That was a hard truth to tell, Mama Raccoon said, hugging him tight. But honesty always makes your heart lighter. Papa nodded. Let's go to the store together and talk to the owner. We'll figure it out. So they walked to the shop. Mr. Finch, the gruff old cat who owned the store, listened quietly as Riley explained. His whiskers twitched, and his eyes softened. That bell had fallen out of a box I was unpacking, he said. I've been looking for it all week. Riley's ears drooped. I'm really sorry. Mr. Finch gave him a long look. then smiled. You did the right thing by coming back. Not everyone would, and that's worth something. He handed Riley a little pin shaped like a gold star. For honesty, he said. And if you want a bell of your own, I've got one that you can really earn. Would you like to help me unpack stock this afternoon? Riley beamed. Yes, please. That afternoon, Riley helped sort boxes, sweep the floor, and even got a root beer float as a thank you. By the end of the day, he had a new bell, this time one he truly earned, and a heart that felt light as a breeze. And every time it went ding, it sounded just like honesty. What wonderful journeys we've had tonight. We met Millie, Bravo, Sasha, and we even had time to meet Riley. Four very different friends who each discovered that telling the truth made them stronger, kinder, and more trusted. Honesty doesn't just help others, it helps you feel more proud of who you are. Now repeat after me. I am brave, I am kind, and I can tell the truth with love. Sleep tight, little light. Your heart is bright and honest, and that is an awesome thing to be. Here's some music while you head to sleep. Until next time.